Hey guys, Theo here from Believe HiFi, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about the company Spendor Audio, their speaker range, and why I find them unique and why I decided to go for a pair, and not only a pair, but utilize them as a brand for my business here in Malta. So, before I jump into it, as always, please like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. I think almost 20-1 in terms of a ratio of subscribers to viewers. So that would be great if you guys could hit the bell, because it helps support the channel and help me bring better quality content to everyone. Now, a disclaimer before I move into this. Yes, I do sell Spendor audio speakers for my business. However, keep in mind, I only sell within Malta, and I think there's almost no one in Malta that has ever seen my channel. So I'm not trying to do any sort of sales pitch here, and I think you'll tell that very easily by the way I speak about products, because at the end of the day, my YouTube channel and my company, they're separate things. And I never believe that there's a best speaker. I don't believe there's a best amplifier. I don't believe there's a best anything. I just give my opinion on what I think. And you'll see why I picked this brand too, because it goes along with that philosophy that there's no best, there's just different. All right, so without delaying any further, let's get into why I went with Spendor Audio. And the first point is, as I mentioned, there is no best speaker. There is no best, there's just different. There's just preferences. There's just what room are you putting them into. There's what pairing gear you have. There's what music you like to listen to. There's what maybe bias you have, or structure of ear you have, or what reference you have. There's no best speaker. And if you tell me what the best speaker brand is, well, it depends. And this is why I chose Spendor, because they don't just have what a lot of other companies have, which is a certain, this is just the sound and that's it. And you can get better or bigger, or better or bigger. And there's no variety. It's just better or bigger, or better or bigger. The cool thing with Spendor is within one brand, you pretty much get 3 brands. And this was one of the key reasons that I chose them, not only for my company and my business, but for my own listening preference. I mean, within one brand, I can get all different types of sounds, not just better or bigger, but different. And the way they do that is with 3 different lines. They have the D line, which you can see here. The D line is the line of speaker that is for someone that wants high revealing sound with modern technology, for someone that really wants to play with everything from cables to DACs, and you really want to hear all the details and everything. It's also the speaker that's probably, it's the most refined, you know, it's really, as I said, highly detailed, and it's very transparent. And I mean, you can traverse through the internet, and it's pretty much widely known that at this price point, you can't really get a more revealing speaker. It's really, and I'm not saying that because I have them here, but it's at this price point, I mean, it's very difficult to compete with. And not only that, it's not brittle or harsh or fatiguing. Then you move into the next step across, the A line. The A line is maybe the best speaker when you want something in between detailed and precise and fun and smooth, let's say. It's right down the middle. It's dynamic. It's great for people that listen to more sort of pop genres or more mainstream type of genres. But in saying that, don't let that fool you. This is a serious audiophile speaker still. The detail is still top notch. And across all of these 3 speakers, there's still a neutrality. You know, it's not like one is bright, one is the middle, and one is warm. They're still incredibly neutral. There's just a difference to the sound. Again, it's almost like you've got a very good neutral speaker, but just 3 different brands, but hence, yet it's all into one brand. So that middle line is sort of the, you know, maybe I'd say the more fun pair. They also have the best pricing. And again, the value proposition on them is really crazy. And if you just A/B them against more expensive sets, and you'll really see what I mean. And they're also less picky about what's downstream from them. The D line is quite picky, but in saying that, not overly picky, but more picky than the A line. The A line is a little bit more fun, a little bit more forgiving. Really great, especially, as I said, for mainstream genres. Then you have the third line, which is the classic series. This is for that really sort of traditional sound that the British are known for. You know, it's a little bit more warm, it's a little bit more inviting, a little bit more involving, a little bit more laid back. I mean, it's like the detail is all there. It's just like you've just turned the brightness down a little bit. And it's something where if you listen to music that isn't so dynamic or isn't so crazy, it might actually be the best choice for you. And where the Spendor's classic series comes in, fantastic on vocals, fantastic on natural instruments, a bit more involving, a bit more warm, a bit more loving, a bit more something that really you'd probably want to live with. You know, you might maybe find these more impressive, but maybe you'd prefer to live with them because you listen to acoustic or jazz or more simple types of music and you just feel you connect more. Or who knows, you might connect more with these. But as I said, this point is within one brand, you've got three distinctly different types of sounds in which you, the listener, can come in, you can listen to all three, and it's not about spending more, it's about spending maybe even less, but you can pick what kind of sound suits you and your music and your gear and even your room. So that's the first key point why Spendor is a great go-to brand and why I chose them. Now, secondly, they make everything. They make their own cabinets. They make a lot of the cabinets for a lot of the other big brands too. Not only do they make them and they make them look great, they make the drivers, they make everything. Everything is handmade in-house. Everything. And I really respect that. I respect the craftsmanship of that. You know, it's very easy to be able to just order parts from here. And again, I'm not against it. If I owned a company and I couldn't make the best tweeter to my specifications, I would happily use a third party. But in doing that, I do give up a little bit of trust into someone else's hands when it comes to reliability and, you know, sort of that continuous sound from speaker model to speaker model to speaker model. But again, different philosophy, but I do respect the fact it's all handmade in Britain. Even the cabinetry, everything is handmade and done. And that's the second point. And to me, you know, it's a great point. And, you know, if I could do that, I'd be proud. And, you know, I'm proud that they do it, and I'm proud that I have the opportunity to retail the brand here in Malta. And not only that, but have them in my listening room. Point number 3, and this is that they are neutral. Even though there's 3 different types of speakers within the range, you listen to them and it's hard to, you can sit in front of any pair and it's very hard to say, this is warm, or this seems a bit bright, or this seems a bit edgy. Honestly, I mean, there was, I can't tell you how many brands I auditioned. I can't count them on 5 sets of hands. And obviously there's a lot of other great examples of neutral speakers, and there's examples of all types of different sounds, you know? There's some brands where I go, wow, they really they do the best at this, or this one does the best at this, or wow, this does the best at this. But where I liked Spendor is, in a general sense, as an all-rounder, they ticked all the boxes. Very good value for money, tick. Very good detail, tick. Great with all types of musics too, tick. As an all-rounder, even all of the lines, even this line, the most picky, the D line, and the most detailed, it still is a beautifully enjoyable sound. It's not brittle, it's not like a hardcore student, not even close. So the fact that they don't have an overwhelming sound characteristic that's too polarizing is another reason why I liked to go with them. And they give you that British type of sound that's a bit more, seems almost more organic. It's probably the wrong word to use, but it's the word that comes to mind. However, you get the detail and you get the latest technology and you get something it's truly nice. And the fourth point, which I've alluded to before, is the price point. I think they're very, very fairly priced speakers. Even if, let's say I didn't retail these speakers myself, it would be very hard for me not to recommend them at the price. There's some very insane prices that you can pay for speakers these days. And look, I have heard more expensive speakers, and I have heard speakers that have made me go, oh, wow, But again, it comes to the point of diminishing returns. And especially with the D line, let's say, for when it comes to detail and transparency and enjoyment in all sizes of rooms, it's very hard to find a speaker that can reproduce detail like this at this price point, or even well above this price point. Hopefully, in a nutshell, I've given a good overview of the brand. I mean, the most important thing, as I said, is there is no best brand. You could put 20 different brands in this room, and I'd be extremely happy with the sound I have. There is no best. This isn't better than anything. Nothing's better than this. It's all down to preference. But again, at least this company can give you 3 distinctly different sound signatures that still are neutral, still are great, and still would please. Maybe you'd like all 3 of them, but when it comes down to, but I just like this one a little better. And secondarily, they're made all in-house by hand. So you can trust that they've designed everything to work together, even the cabinetry. And they make cabinetry, as I said, for a host of other big companies. Then, obviously, you go into the value for money proposition is absolutely fantastic. And the fact that they're great all-round speakers. They do it all. They do the detail. They do the inviting, musical, if we can use that word. They do it all without being able to class any of them just as, oh, it's a fantastic speaker for drums, or it's a fantastic speaker for vocals, or it's just a fantastic speaker for dance music. Or they're great, true all-rounders. They really are. And as I said, nothing's the best. It all comes down to what you like, what kind of sound you like, but at least you would know, or I would know, if I recommended a pair to you, you definitely would not be overpaying for the quality you get in sound, and you would have 3 different options to choose from, which to me is the best thing, because at the end of the day, it's for you to connect with the music and for you to enjoy the music and feel it and pick the right speaker for your room, for your genres of music, for the rest of your upstream gear. And I hope that's a good overview, and I hope you learned something today, and I look forward to any questions down in the comments. I always try my best to reply. But anyway, I'm signing out for now. As I said before, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.